On a Tuesday night. It's a whole new time. It's a whole new channel. Not new channel, just a new time. New schedule, guys. We're not doing coffee with Coach in the morning. We are going to be doing Tuesday evening question and answer with Coach every week. So starting today, you're the first people ever to be on Tuesday night question and answer with Coach Bronson. How about that? So you should feel special. All of you should feel absolutely special. It's the beginning of great things. My schedule's changing. There's a lot of stuff happening during the day in the near future, real near future. And most of what I'll be doing with you guys will be in the evening from now on. So I just realized this is funky. I got to figure out how to fix this. My YouTube streaming is flip-flopped. It's presenting different. Hold on. Maybe I can change. I wonder if I can change this live. Let's see here. Camera, mirror mic. Hey, there we go. But I wonder if that shows you what I see or if that you see what I don't know how this works. But now it matches. All right. Now I can actually see what you guys see. There we go. That looks better. All right. Anywho, sorry, sidetracked. We got people coming on. Poetic Fitness Scorpio. How's it going, man? Low Carb Consultant. Hey. What's up, peoples? Nobody's hopped on YouTube yet. That's okay. It looks normal. It looks normal for you on Instagram. Yeah, Instagram looks fine. Something was weird with my YouTube and Facebook stream where it was like flipped, like it was reversed. So hopefully I fixed it. We'll see. What's going on, guys? Hey, Mike C. All right. So today I'm open to you guys, and this is how we want to do this. Pretty much every Tuesday, if you have a question, bring it. All right. We'll talk about it. You guys know I do talk nutrition. I am much more interested in talking about fitness, but if you have nutrition questions, I'll answer those if I can. The same thing with fitness. I really want to focus on helping you guys. I have 3 main goals. One, I need to help people understand that fitness is as important as nutrition. You cannot live your best life if you cannot use your body the way it's meant to be used. Period. It just doesn't happen that way. Okay. You can do all the nutrition in the world, but you're not going to get to your best you without also improving your physical ability. Okay. That's the first thing I want people to understand. The second thing I want people to understand is you can do it. It is accessible. It is not as hard. It is not as complicated. It is not as giant of a mountain to climb to get started as people think it is. Okay. That's the second thing that I want people to understand. And then the third thing I want to do is help people understand how to get started. I want to give people options, give people tools, give people information so that they can start doing things on their own with help in a community at a level that is approachable to them. Okay. What's up, Nate? Let's see. We got Suzanne on. What's up? So many different names that I cannot pronounce. And I don't know if your screen name is your actual name, but I'm just going to say hi to everybody. If I recognize your name, I'll call you out. Dant Claire, I recognize that name. Hi, Mom. What's going on? So that's what I want to do. Where was I going with that? Oh, in that line, you guys know that we launched the new beginner program last week, 2 weeks ago, something like that. Like it's been about 2 weeks now, I guess. Hi, Michelle, new follower. What's going on? What's up, Adele? Hi, Diane. Chris McFit, how you doing? We launched the beginner program, and there's an interesting phenomenon. This is something that I did not expect to happen with launching this program. Almost every day this week, I've gotten an email from somebody saying, can I get your next level program? Can I get a refund? Hi, Melissa. Can I get a refund on the beginner program and then start the intermediate program? Because the beginner program was easier than I thought it was going to be. It's amazing, guys. Absolutely amazing. The reason we started the beginner program was because a lot of people, a lot of you guys watching right now think that fitness is too hard. So I wanted to make an option that was the absolute easiest thing that you could possibly sign up for to get started. Even then, I've got people that are doing it thinking, oh my God, fitness is so hard. It's going to be crazy. They're signing up, they're looking at the program, they're doing it for a couple of days, and they're realizing I can do this. I'm in better condition. I'm better physically than I thought I was. The stories that we tell ourselves are very powerful, guys. You have to understand that many of them, particularly if they're stories that are stopping you from doing something that you think is hard, chances are that story you're telling yourself is an absolute lie. An absolute lie. If you think something is too hard, number one, you'll never know if you don't try. Okay. Number two, if you try and it is hard, now you have a goal, something that you can work for. Okay. There is absolutely no reason why you shouldn't be doing something right now to improve your fitness. No reason. You have all the tools, you have information, you have community, you have support, and now you have a program that is possibly easier than you think it's going to be. Okay. It's absolutely amazing. If you're looking for something to do to get started with your fitness, the beginner program is where you need to start. It's only $15 a month, guys. It's only $15 a month. You get a program that you can do at home, super basic, super easy to get started. And you may find out sooner than you think that you've outgrown it already and you're ready for something new. And then you know that's exactly, you're in the right spot. Okay. The whole concept of the beginner program is different than other fitness programs. Other fitness programs, we start at a level. Here's the general level of fitness everybody should be at. If you're not here, we'll give you modifications to figure out what works best for you. Okay. This program is completely different. We're starting at the lowest level I could possibly put on a piece of paper. That's where it starts. If you are in better shape, if you have better strength, better mobility, better movement, whatever, then you can start at levels above. And there's modifications for increasing the complexity and intensity if someone starts it and can do more. But it is as low of a barrier to entry program that was possibly able to put together. There's no reason. The reason I put this program together is to take away every excuse that someone may have to get started. Okay. This is the program for you. If you're not sure where you're at, if you haven't done anything for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, if you're not sure you can even get up and down off the floor without hurting yourself or without a lot of struggle and pain and aches, then this is the program for you. You got to do it. All right. All right. We got here. Allie Girdle Doodle, carnivore since 1 January 1st, 2001. I'm guessing that is what that means. Ready to add in the exercise. Absolutely. Add it in. Guys, I have an analogy. Okay. We're going to go into this. I wasn't sure if this analogy is 100%. You guys know how I am with analogies. Mike, I see your question. I will get to that as soon as I finish this thought. Okay. I've been working on this analogy for months, trying to figure out the best way to explain and help you visualize how fitness is important in your overall performance. Okay. The first thing we want to understand is that metabolism, fitness, and health are all the same thing. Think about that. Metabolism, fitness, and health are all measures of the same thing. Anything that I can measure my fitness with, anything that I can measure my metabolism with, anything that I can measure my health with, cross the line across all three of those words. Okay? Metabolism is the function of your body. Fitness is the performance of your body. Health is the condition of your body. They're all the same. They all have the same effect. The things that we do to one affect the other. Okay. So that's the first thing I want you to understand. All right. Oh my goodness, Mike, you just threw in a whole bunch of stuff. I don't know if I have time to get into all of that, but I'll take a look at that and we'll get into it in a second. Okay. Oh, Michelle, Mick is short for Michelle. Okay. Gotcha. Sorry, Michelle. All right. I'll get into let me look at that. So when we're talking about this analogy of the importance of fitness and nutrition, you need them both. Most of the time, people think it's all about nutrition. I'm going to explain to you why fitness is just as important. Okay. Think about your body as a pump. It's just a water pump, right? It's simple. The whole idea is to get water from a standing pool or water from one place and to spread it out as far as possible and as wide as possible, right? You got a pump. You're trying to spray this water across the lawn. Okay. Now, it's water, but maybe it's dirty water. Maybe there's oil in the water. Maybe there's something messed up in the water. Okay. So as that pump is going, it's getting gunked up. It's not performing as well as it possibly could if that water was clean and pure and didn't have grass and mud and oil and who knows what else, and kids' toys and who knows what else, right? It's the water, the fluid being pumped isn't as clean and pristine as it could be. Okay. This is nutrition. If I clean up if I clean up what goes into the pump, what goes into your body, if I clean up what goes into the body, then what can happen? That pump can use and push and do what it needs to do with that water much easier. So that water is going to go farther. That water is going to spread wider. Okay. So I clean up what goes into the pump. That is one way of doing what? Improving the performance of the pump. The pump is doing a better job because the water that it's pumping is making it easier for it to do its job. That's nutrition. Now, here's the thing I want you to understand. The performance of the pump didn't change because we did anything to the pump. We did not improve the function of the pump. The pump is functioning exactly the same as it was with the dirty water now that it has clean water. It's doing the exact same thing. Nothing has been changed. We didn't go in and clean any seals. We didn't go in and tighten any screws. We didn't go in and fix anything, lube anything up, tighten. We didn't do anything to the pump. We fixed the water that was going into the pump. Now it performs better. And that is what a lot of people think is all there is to health and fitness, and not fitness, to health and quality of life. We get stuck with fixing the water. Okay, we forget that when that dirty water was in there, going through that pump, there's a lot of gunk that built up around on the inside of that thing. There's a lot of things that we could do to improve the function of there. So if we take that pump apart, we clean it up, we put some better screws, we maybe put some bigger pistons or whatever seals on it. We do some things to make it work better. Now, even if I never cleaned up the water, see, here's the kicker. This is the kicker, the confusing part. I'm going to stop in the middle of that story and we're going to kick into a different thing. I told you I was still working on this. Let's say we have the dirty water. Okay. We still got the dirty water. We're getting water out the other end, but it's not really good. We got to work really hard to make the pump work. It's just not working as good as we want it to be. If I take that pump and I make it bigger, or I put an engine on it, I put a power source on it, or I do something to make it pump stronger, then the water is going to come out harder. It's going to come out faster. It's going to come out wider. The pump performance is going to improve, even though I didn't do anything to the water going into it. I want you to let that sink in for a second. If I change how the pump functions and improve the pump's function, the performance of the pump, the performance of your body, your metabolic function, your health will show an improvement, even though I'm not changing the input to the pump, and vice versa. If I change the input to the pump, but I don't do anything about the pump's function itself, the improvement's going to show. Performance is going to show improvement, but I didn't improve the function of the pump itself. And that's the difference between fitness and nutrition. Fitness changes what we have to work with, the physical, what our physical body has to work with, how hard it has to work to function and perform. Okay? The more crap we put in, the harder our body has to work, the less performance we're going to get. If we don't do anything to the physical aspect, the fitness aspect of our body. It doesn't matter how good the fuel is that we put in, because we're still going to be limited by what our physical ability and function is. So the performance is never going to be optimal until we fix the input and the function. Okay, so we need both. We need the pump to have good stuff coming in. We need the pump to function well so that we can then get the optimal output. I hope that makes sense. Okay, that was my little, you guys tell me if that makes sense, if that clicked anything with you, because I want to use that analogy. And obviously, like I said, I'm still working on it, cleaning it up. So you guys got the first test. Okay, if it makes sense to you, let me know. Let's look at Michelle's question. Michelle. Whoa, my goodness, Michelle, we got a bunch of stuff in here. Okay, animal-based keto for months and months. Only thing you've eaten is a few greens and squash. Okay, carnivore since January. All right, you're fasting 20 to 22 hours a day. Mojo monitor, exercise hard. Okay, Michelle, I'm going to give you a couple things here. I need you to listen very carefully. Stop fasting and stop working out for 2.5 hours a day. Okay, it's that simple. All right. Eat if you're hungry. Fasting is a hack that only works if the basics aren't working for you. Okay. I don't know your background. I don't know if the basics are working and what you're doing, where you're coming from, all that other kind of stuff. Okay. But bottom line, most people, if you're eating appropriate amounts of food and adequate protein, adequate fat, you're going to naturally, in most cases, 99% of the time, most people end up eating in a 6 to 8 hour window naturally without having to force it, without having to eat 2 o'clock. Okay. If you're trying to eat all your food in a 2 hour window, that is misguided. Okay. I want you to relax. Take it easy. Don't make it overly complicated. If you're hungry, eat. Okay. If you're not hungry, don't eat. Make sure you're eating enough at each meal so that you feel full for a few hours, 4, 5, 6 hours, and then eat again. Okay. It doesn't have to be complicated. That's the first thing. Don't fast on purpose. Most of the time, when people fast on purpose, they're messing things up by not getting enough food. Okay. And then they also have a tendency to screw up their satiety signals. And then they're all messed up because they don't know if they're hungry. They don't know if they're full. If they try to change anything down the road, let your body do what it wants to do. Okay. That's the first thing. The second thing, 2.5 hours a day. I don't know what you're doing, but that's far too much. Okay. 45 minutes to an hour, 4 to 5 days a week is all you need. You could actually do it on far less than that. I like to say 4 to 5 days a week because I think from a habit perspective, from a giving people some of that alone time and some of that, what I call church time, okay, it's a good habit to have 4 to 5 days a week. Okay. 4 to 5 hours a week max. You don't need more than that in order to get in shape and improve your fitness. Okay. What you're telling me, and I don't know your background, Michelle, and I appreciate you asking this question because it brings up something that's very important. I think people need to understand. Doing more is not the answer. If you're trying to do more, it's probably because you think exercise and nutrition is about fat loss. It's not. Exercise and nutrition is about improving how your body functions, just what I talked about with the pump, how your body functions. If you can improve how your body functions, the fat will come off, the muscle will come, the physical independence will come, the reduction of medications will come, the improvement in mental clarity will come. All of those things will happen, but you have to fix how your body works. And you can't fix how your body works by adding more stress. Repair and recovery happen. I'm going to change that. Repair, recovery, and healing happen during the times where you are low stress. That doesn't happen during exercise. That doesn't happen during eating is a stressor. guys. You need to understand this. Eating is a stressor. When you eat, you add stress to your body. It's a good stress. It's not a bad stress, but it does add to what we call the allostatic load and the overall things in our body that our body has to manage at any given time. Okay. So if you're doing things, not eating is a stress. Okay. If you're doing things to add stress, either not eating enough or eating too much, it's going to throw things off. You're not going to get a chance to heal. If you're working out 2.5 hours a day, then you're not giving your body a chance to heal. Okay. 45 minutes to an hour, 4 to 5 days a week. That's it. You do not need to be doing more than that. If you do that, you will see an improvement in lean mass, and you will start seeing some changes that you weren't expecting because you're giving your body a chance to respond to the work that you are doing. If you're always punching it, it never gets a chance to recover. Okay? So that's just something to remember. Okay? The other thing you mentioned in your question is about your ketones and your blood sugar and whatever and what else. First off, I'll just say I personally don't measure ketones. I don't recommend anybody does really, unless you have a specific issue that's neurological or something like that where you need to be at a specific number. Ketones really don't mean anything in the big picture. They do actually. Ketones, having high ketone number means your body's not burning the ketones it has available, which is then why do you want that? Why we want extra ketones in our blood doesn't make sense to me. I go into that. If you get my book, The Ultimate Ketogenic Fitness Book, I have a whole chapter on the idea of stop counting ketones and why it's important to understand that having excess ketones in your blood isn't any different than having excess glucose in your blood. Extra fuel is extra fuel. Why is having extra glucose bad, but having extra ketones good? If it's fuel that your body can't use, then it's useless, right? Something to think about. There's your thought for the day. Okay. Mr. Wing, what's up, man? You bet, Michelle. Anytime you have a question, let me know. Plateau has hit. I got 2 meals a day. Do I go 2 meals a day instead? Consuming about 800 a day. With this, I was one-time pre-diabetes. Okay, well, there we go. I missed a comment, Mr. Wing. Been doing OMAD for 8 months. There's your problem. Don't do OMAD. Lost 130 pounds from 380 to 255. Dude, that's freaking awesome. 125 pounds. That's freaking awesome, man. Train 6 days, hit a week, twice, 6 days, hit, 6 days with hit twice a week. Keto, grass-fed meats, raised eggs, organic broccoli, asparagus. Awesome. Plateau has hit. Okay. A couple things about plateaus, guys. The biggest mistake people make with a plateau is they call it a plateau before it's actually a plateau. Okay. 6 to 8 weeks. If nothing's happening, then you can say you're plateaued. Okay. Secondly, if you're looking at fat loss or weight loss as a plateau, you're probably off. There are thousands, and I want you to hear me, guys. There are thousands of things going on in your body that could be changing that have absolutely zero to do with how much you weigh. Okay. Mr. Wing, you lost 125 pounds. Good gosh, man. That's awesome. You lost 125 pounds. Your body is going through some major changes. It's very possible that it's just like, you know what? We got some other stuff to work on right now. Weight is the last thing we're going to worry about. Okay. You're working out. There's hormone issues. There's muscle building. There's gut stuff. There's a whole bunch of things going on in your body right now. Just because you're not losing weight is not a thing to call it a plateau. Okay. Start looking at other things and seeing how those are changing. Get some blood work done. Get a body composition scan. If you guys don't have an in-body scale at home, you need to get one. It's the easiest, most accessible thing that you can use to see what's actually happening with your body when it comes to weight, body fat, lean mass, base metabolic rate, all that stuff. Okay. Body composition is an absolute game changer when it comes to deciding if you're in a plateau or not. I don't know how many people I work with every single day who are like, I've been frustrated for the past couple of weeks because I'm not losing weight, but I got on the body composition scale and realized that I've gained a pound and a half of muscle and I've lost a pound and a half of weight. That's why I haven't changed my weight, because my body's actually flipping what it's built out of. And that is powerful, guys. It gets you off of the weight, because the weight doesn't tell you anything. It's your pull on the earth. It's the earth's pull on your body. That's it. It has absolutely nothing to do with your health, your quality of life, or your physical ability. All right. So that's what I would say. Mr. Wing, great choice on going off of OMAD and going to 2 times a day. Stick with 2 times a day. If you want to go 3 times a day, go 3 times a day. Just get in the food that you eat. The bottom line, guys, when it comes to fasting, intermittent fasting, timing your food, all that crap, who cares? The bottom line, if you're not getting the protein in that you need in a day, if you're not getting the fat in that you need in a day, I don't care what you're eating or when. That has to happen first. Okay, that has to happen first. So make sure you're getting what you need in. Okay. Let's see. All right, that's all the questions we got on YouTube right now. Let's see, what do we got here on Instagram? Any questions? Carnivore Cabal. What's up? Hey man, I'm going through the book. If you guys don't know Carnivore Cabal, go check him out. He's got a book. It's a book on Amazon. It's a how to get started on carnivore. It's his story. I highly recommend you guys go get it. If you Carnivore Cabal, if you want to drop the name of the book in there, I've got it on the couch. I've got it on the coffee table out there, but drop the name of the book in there so people can go look it up on Amazon. What's up, Michelle? Natalie. All right, I think we're good, guys. Oh, we got Lupus Warrior. I thrive best on 3 times a week, working out 3 times a week. Good. Every other day, rest. Nice. 45 minutes each time. That's fantastic. 3 days a week is awesome. John from Colorado. What's up, John? How much margin of error do you recommend or recognize in trackers like Chronometer? You talking about for food, John? I'm assuming you're talking about for food. I really don't even worry about it, to be honest with you. The margin of error, I feel like, is so. That's a good question, but it's one of those things that honestly I've never really thought about. The margin of error in all things food tracking is unspecified and really undetermined. I don't know if it's possible to even quantify what the potential margin for error is. In some circumstances, you could probably create a scenario where it's an nth of a percent. In other circumstances, you could probably create a scenario where it's exponentially off. So I think going with whatever you're going with, stay consistent using the same tool. I think that has more of an effect than the tool being 100% accurate. It's a lot like body composition. Okay. There's no body composition product out there. A DEXA, an InBody, a Tanita, hydrostatic. There's nothing out there that's 100%. That's 100% accurate. They all have their margins of error. Okay. What makes the most difference is how accessible is it? How frequently can you get on it? And how consistent can you get the information from it? That's what matters. So if you're using the same tool consistently, you're going to have more success than however accurate the tool itself is. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense, John. Okay, yeah, or the Garmin, the one you have at home, that's fine too. Again, the only we're going to get a little nitpicky here when it comes to food or any tracking. That is the general rule of thumb. Be consistent with what you're using. You're going to have progress because the changes are made off the data you have. So if you're putting your macros in and you're saying I'm putting in a pound and a half of meat, and it says that is 200 grams of protein, and in actuality, it's 170, you're thinking you're getting 200 grams of protein. If over 6 or 8 weeks, you're like, I'm not feeling it, I'm not gaining as much muscle, I'm not feeling it in the gym, I'm going to up my protein to 220. Okay, so you up your protein to 220 in the app that you're using. In actuality, because that app is off, you're actually getting 195 or 200. Okay, it doesn't matter. You still upped your protein based on the results that you're having. So see how that, see, it doesn't matter. As long as you keep using that tool. If you use that tool, then you go to another tool, maybe the other tool says 120, but you really are 200 grams, but it's really 250. So now you're all messed up because one is wrong one way, the other's wrong the other way. And now you're using different tools. And you're getting all kinds of different information. Be consistent with the tool and you're going to have a lot more consistent results and things you can make changes on because the data is the same every time. Okay. What's up, Carrie? 410 days, no coffee or caffeine. Congratulations. That's awesome. Not for me. Not for me at all. No. I tried it for like 4 weeks, had to stop, had to go back. What do I recommend for, okay, so Mr. Wing asking for a scale for home use. I'm InBody all the way. I've been using InBody devices since 2017, something like that. It's been a while. InBody is the gold standard for bioelectric impedance, okay? There's a bunch of different technologies. DEXA is the gold standard for imaging technology as a brand. InBody is the gold standard for bioelectric impedance technology. They're the best. They're the most accessible. You can get one at home. It's cheap. It's easy to read. It only takes about 10 seconds to get a reading. They're absolutely amazing. The one that I have, I get on every couple of weeks. Depending on what I'm doing. Sometimes I get on a few days in a row. Sometimes I get on every week. Sometimes it's once a month. But having access to seeing how I eat and what happens in my body, Coach Nat, she gets on hers every day, right? She gets to see every single day how what she's doing is making changes and gets into being able to understand if I didn't sleep well, how does it change my numbers? If I had a long day, if I had a stressful day, how does it change my numbers? So she's gotten to a point where she can look at every single day and make some determinations about how things are going. That takes some practice. That takes some knowledge. I recommend once a week to once every other week. That way you have some time to make some changes and let your body kind of adjust to the changes as you're making progress. Okay. But again, InBody is the brand. There is a link in my link tree if you want to go grab it. If you use my code, Coach Bronson, you get $25 off. Basically, gets you free shipping, and then you can have one yourself. Okay. Sensitive caffeine. Carrie's sensitive to caffeine. A lot of people are more sensitive to caffeine than they think they are, and they won't know until they stop. Okay. I personally, thank goodness, didn't notice any differences coming off of it, so I went back on it. All right, guys, we are good. I think I don't even know how long we're on, how long we've been on. We've been on for a while. Thank you very much. Again, Tuesday evenings is the new time. If you have questions, you can send them to me ahead of time. You can shoot them in while we're alive, but I'll see you guys next Tuesday. Okay, take it easy.